whoever later can see. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the second QA lesson. If you are new and didn't take the first lesson, you were not here the first week, you can still do that. So basically what you will have to do is go to the platform, register, and you will see this page. Then you will see the courses over here and here. If you go to this course, this is the course that you will be able to see. If you take other courses in the future, you will have multiple courses here. So far, you will see only one. If you open it, you will see the first lesson and all the materials that you need, and the second lesson and everything you need for it as well, right? The video recording and also the homework and whatever materials you need for your homework as well. Yeah, so basically what you need to do, you need to register on the platform. If you are not there, it's for those who still not with us, who just joined us today, because there are some people coming from different places and they are joining the lesson for the first time. So I just sent the link in the meeting chat. So if you're not with us, you need to register there, and then you will be able to see this page right away. And it also has a link to our Slack. Our Slack is actually the main chat for the course. And actually, if you never used Slack, this is something you have to start using as well, because in IT industry, this is the main like chatting platform. This is the main chat that people are using, the companies are using. There are some exclusions, like Apple, for example. I used to work for Apple, and Stan, who actually conducts the JavaScript course, he actually works still at Apple. And so they use specific chat, their own platform, because they want the information to be secret, and that doesn't go out. Because if you're Slack, you actually use Slack servers, right? And they want everything to be inside Apple, so they are using their own messenger. But in 99% of the cases in IT industry, will be this chat that we will be using. So if you are going to become IT professional, using Slack is like must-have. So that's basically why we use it, and that's basically why why you need to join our Slack as well, so you can actually become, and you can find me here in case of any questions. You can submit your homework here, because we submit the homework over here as well. And if you have any problems, guys, because some people joined the platform, but they were not able to join Slack for some reason, right? So basically, in that case, you just go to TechStart, and at the bottom, you have the phone number. You can just text me there. You can even call, but I'm not always picking up if I'm working. But you can definitely text me, and I will get a text message. It's not my personal number. It's a company number, but I see the messages that are coming. And also, you can send email to this email. I also see them, and I will help you as well. If you're not able to do anything, just either send me a message here or here, and then I will be able to help you. What I usually do, I just ask you for the email, and I invite you directly. So you join not by the link. I just add you by your email to the group, and you actually automatically join the Slack, and you just get the notification in email and just follow the instruction, and you join. So that's what I basically do. That's pretty much it for new people. And also, this third link on the platform is to actually join this lesson that we are right now. So it basically leads you to this meeting. Yeah. Okay, good. So thank you for the homeworks. I see that people are still sending me the homeworks, but I will check them after the lesson. So my general feedback, I won't be giving you the feedback about JavaScript. Stan will do that tomorrow, because I was not checking. But about QA stuff, I can tell you that in general, you did a great job. That was great. Actually, considering the fact that most of you are doing this for the first time, that was great in most of the cases. In some cases, of course, you were missing some requirements. You were not paying too much attention to details. Sometimes you were combining couple requirements into one test case, but that's a very minor issue for one lesson, because this is only one lesson that you had, and the work you did is amazing. And most of the people actually did a great job. They covered every single requirement, and that's the main thing. Again, just a quick recap about the first lesson. So about the first lesson, when we were working on the requirements. Oh, that's not the one. This is new one. Our goal was to actually read the requirements, try to find some contradictions or incompleteness or ambiguities, right? Whatever you have questions about, if something just is unclear for you how it works, you are asking questions. And then the next step is when you ask questions. I updated the requirements on Friday. I told you that on Friday, there will be updated to the final version. So on Friday, they were updated, so now they are final. Some people started working on the test cases before that, because I actually removed some information, some unnecessary information from the requirements. I wanted to make them more clear. And I updated them and removed something. And I still saw some test cases about those requirements. So that's how I know that you started working on the requirements even before Friday. But that's okay. That's fully okay. So now they are completely they are complete, actually. They are complete according to your feedbacks. And then you start working on the test cases. So if at that stage, when you are working on the test cases, you cover every single requirement, you will never miss anything. Because let's say, for example, you are testing this part. You are testing that text area is located in the left top section, right? Okay, that's good. You have the test case for that. Then you say that it consists of 3 lines of text. You have the test case for that. Then you test 1, 2, 3, right? And then you forget to test this one, that X is equal to number of people in the line. Then when you test, you see X over here, X. And you test it and you pass, because your test case says X people. What developers did, they just forgot to replace this by a variable that actually shows the number of people in the table in here. So they forgot to do that, and you missed that as well because you forgot to cover this test case, right? So that's basically why it's important to cover everything, every single thing. You will never miss any single thing in the application. You will test it completely. And then you will actually report all the bugs. If you find some bugs, you will report all of them. And that's basically why it's so important to actually cover every single requirement and not miss anything. Because if you miss something, there is a chance that you will miss bugs and your customers will actually face problems when they start using the application, right? And basically, this application is going to be used by pretty much old people, right? And it's not that easy for them to use software, and they make mistakes, and especially if there are bugs that will affect their experience. And that's why it's still so important to test every single requirement and be attentive to details. So that's basically it, because the next step that we're going to do today is very simple, very, very super simple. We are going to start testing the application by executing your test cases. Executing your test cases means you open them, you open the test cases. Okay, let me see where the test cases are. For example, this is the template that I have, right? So basically what you do, you open the application on one part of the screen, you open the test cases on another part of the screen. So let me actually open the homework. This is the application, and I will send you a link to you as well. Oh, I already see the problems, but basically this is how you try to do that, right? So actually you have the test cases. Let me make them smaller, and you have the application, right? Okay, so you have the application on the right, and you actually start testing them. You say, okay, after navigating to the application, user can see 4 sections. You say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see 4 sections. Those 4 sections from the requirements. Oh, maybe it's not that good to test on my small screen, but if I share to bigger screen, let me do that. Let me share the bigger screen with you guys. Maybe it will be better for you to see everything. Okay, hide, stop sharing. Let me share. How about now? It's bigger screen, maybe it will be easier for you to see. Okay, So here are the requirements, right? So I see those 4 sections, but I already see some problems. But basically, this test case is passing. So I say pass because I see 4 sections. Then the top left section is title text. Is here, and I pass it, right? And so on. This is what I do. This is how we actually execute the test cases. So if you were paying attention to details when creating the test cases, you will not have any problems. Just no problems at all, because you will just follow your test cases. And if you covered all the requirements, every single requirement was covered, and you were paying attention during the test planning phase, then there is no problem. You will have actually test every single thing in this application, and you will report all the bugs that is in the application. You will not miss everything. Developers will fix it. Then you will actually make sure that they are fixed, and the application will be like super amazing, super easy to use, and super clear. So yeah, let me actually go back to reiterate the whole process, if you just forgot this presentation that I had, right? So just for you to, again, remember how we work, right? Remember, first of all, we have the requirements, and we don't have the application. We just don't have the application. We just try to, so design team, they create the design of the application, and they actually attach it to the requirements. So basically what you have is the text and the design specs, like pictures, to imagine how the application would look like. And developers actually use those design specs to create the application based on them, to match the design. So basically, usually the application will look like whatever you see on the design. So this is the example. For example, the requirements for the login button. It says login button should be displayed below the login form, and the button is blue, right? There are other requirements, but let's take those 2, right? So basically, you create the test cases. Login button below the login form, good, and the button is blue. So you created those test cases, right? Then you have the application, and that's what we will do today. We have the application. Developers actually created the application based on the requirements, and now we will start testing it, right? So we start testing it. So we take your test cases and start executing them one by one. You take the first one and say, login button displayed below the login form. Correct. So you mark this test case as passed. Then you go to the next test case. Login button is blue, and you see it's not blue, it's red. So you mark it as X, and then you go and report your bug. For first software bug, right? You will go and report it. For example, actual result that you see, login button is red, expected result, and this is what you have in the requirements, and this is what you have in your test cases, login button is blue. So developers know, okay, the problem is it's red, what we expect, it should be blue. And that's basically it. You go through all the test cases, report all the bugs, and then developers fix them before you release this feature to the customers, this application to the customers. So customers ideally should get the application with 0 bugs. It's not always happening, because what's usually happening in real, there are still minor bugs we didn't have time to fix. For example, some misalignments, some color differences or something like that. Those are minor. The application is still functional, it works fine, but there are minor issues that can still exist. Customers may not even see them because they are minor, and we still allow the application go out with minor bugs, let's say, if we don't have time to fix all of them. Okay, so let's go back. So today, basically, we did this. Let me get back again. So we did this already, this part. So we actually worked on the requirements, and thank you for your feedbacks. Thank you for working on the requirements. Thank you for working on the test cases. Again, if you want to get the discount, you want to get to the main course, you still have time. I still will be accepting homework for the next month, probably. Yes, and today what we're going to do is actually start executing your test cases and reporting bugs. That's basically what we're going to do today. Good, so let me close this. These are my test cases. So what you will have to do, basically, you will have to have test cases, right? You will have to have test cases, your test cases, and then you will have to go and start executing them. You already have this template, so you already have the pass-fail criteria on the right. I created this in advance, and you will be able to actually select pass, fail, not applicable, or just nothing, right? So that's basically what we are going to do. And most of them will be pass or fail. Okay, so let's just continue. And my goal today will be actually show you how I do this, how I report bugs, some bug reporting rules that I'm going to use. And your goal will be just to do this. And this is basically what we do most time. Like manual testers, that's what we do. We work on the requirements, then we create test cases, then we wait for the application to be ready. Once it's ready, we actually execute our test cases. Pass, fail, pass, fail, pass, fail. Whenever it's fail, we report bugs. There is an additional thing that we need to do. Whenever bugs are fixed, we will have to actually open those bug reports and make sure that they are fixed, actually. So there is no problem anymore in the application. And that's basically what we will do. And that's it. We go to the next cycle. Then we take another piece of the requirements, add some new features to the application, or work on new application, right? So usually in big companies, you work on big things. Like let's take Facebook, for example, right? Facebook is a web application like this. It's just available in your browser. And it's iterative process. So every 2 weeks, there is something new. They add new features for maybe business customers, maybe how to actually better advertise your product on Facebook or something like that. Then they change something for you. So every 2 weeks, you see some improvement, something changing, some new features added, something was removed, Messenger changing, like maybe your feed changing, something like that. So they always constantly improving something, adding something, changing something. That's how it works. So basically, Facebook engineers, they take some amount of work for the next 2 weeks. Let's say we need to update this, we need to change this, and we need to add new feature over here. So they take couple tasks. Developers actually work on them in terms of software development, like creating new feature or changing existing feature. And testers, we work actually in the test planning. So for example, if feature is changing, we actually cover that by test cases as well. So now here, instead of the old functionality, should be this. And you create test cases for the change of the existing feature, right? Or the new feature, like in this case. So basically, same thing. We work on the test cases. Then when developers make change, it's available on the internal server at Facebook. They test it there. And once everything is approved, no bugs, this piece of work is approved to go to production to real users like you and me. And then we get the new update. And that's how every 2 weeks, every company delivers something new, right? So that's how everybody works. And that's basically what we do as well, right? So first week, we worked on requirements and task planning. This week, we will be working on test execution and bug reporting. That's basically how it happens in the company, right? Of course, there are more complex things to tell you, but you cannot explain it in 2 lessons, right? So basically, that's why the main course takes 3 months, because there are some rules about how to cooperate with business analysts on the requirements. There are some rules about how to actually cover some specific permutations of the requirements and use test design techniques, the specific rules for bug reporting, right? And all of that. So that's basically why it takes 3 months. And this is just an overview what software tester does. Again, this course is designed for you to actually try the profession and see if this is something you can do. And I personally believe that everybody can do this because this is very simple job. The only thing that you need to have is just being able to pay attention to details. So you actually make sure that you cover every single requirement. That's it. That's the most important part. Because if you cover all the requirements in your test cases, at this point, there's nothing to do. You just basically click pass or fail and compare with the real experience in the application. That's basically what happens. Yeah. Okay. So let me make this a little bit smaller. Let me make this a little bit smaller as well. And this is bigger. Okay, good. So let me move forward with the test cases. So my goal today will be also show you how to actually find some interesting things, because not all the things can be easily tested. This is called manual testing. right? So you actually take the application manually and test it, like on your phone, right? You don't have to have any specific tools. You just open the application on your phone and click the buttons. You see, okay, I see 4 sections. Okay, good. Do I see this section on the left top? Yes, I do see it on the left. And you just basically open the application and test it. Automation testing is when you create the script that will actually run the test for you in the browser, and you will see that the script adding the text automatically for you, clicking the buttons for you, checking that elements are present for you. That's automation, what automation does. And that's what you will try next week on Tuesday. Okay, so let me move forward. Or even before that, do you guys have any questions so far? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Natalia. Nadia, I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
I just want to ask you about how we can check, for example, if I have test cases about font family, font color, font size.
I will.
We have to use DevTools for this, or
yep, yeah, you have to use DevTools.
Okay, thank you.
I will show you how. Yeah, that's the part of today's lesson as well. Okay, Nadia. Okay, thank you for putting down your hand. Okay, so let's move forward. Nobody's asking me here anything. Okay, good. So let me move back to my test cases. Okay, and let me make it see. Let's say, oh, okay, this should be good. Okay, so basically, then let me move. The right top section is the image. That's correct. So pass. The bottom left section is table. Correct. The bottom right section is get inline button. Correct. Good. Then the text area consists of 3 lines. And actually, this is not true. Because what I see, developers actually didn't make it 3 lines. Actually, it's variable. So it really depends on the size of the browser. So I'm going to actually report this. So what you're going to get in your homework. In your homework, you're going to get everything you need. So basically what you will need is the link to the application. This is the link to the application. This is basically the application that you will have to test. Then you have the tool for making screenshots, and that's like must have for QA engineer. The screenshot tool is must have. Actually, everybody uses that, even developers, business analysts, because, for example, if you see something, you have to make a screenshot and send it to the chat to discuss with your team. So so basically, the tool for making screenshots is must have, and then the form to report bug, to report a software bug, right? So that's basically what we're going to do. So first thing, the application, you have it. So you will open the application by using this link. Then you execute your test cases and find bugs. Then you install this tool, Lightshot. So Lightshot, here's the tool. So you can actually install it as a browser extension, or you can install it for Windows or for Mac, like the general tool for your not only to see it in the browser, because limitation for the browser Lightshot will be you will be able to make a screenshot only from the browser. If you want to make a screenshot from your desktop, from any folder that you have, you won't be able to do that. So Lightshot is very simple. It's free and simple. So basically, once you install it, you will see such icon. Or Windows, you will have it on the bottom. On Mac, you will have it at the top. So, and then you just click on it and take a screenshot. So basically, then you select the area, and you have some tools over here to draw, to put a line, to put an arrow, for example, to point something, then to have some, as you can see, a rectangle, right? And you can change the color of the lines. You can put some text if you want, and that's it. This is what is this, like some highlights. Yeah, and you can, very simple. It's not super efficient, not a lot of functionalities, but it's free and very simple. It's very simple and very quick. And you can actually save it. You can copy it. and then so paste it. You can print it, you can publish it to Google, you can actually publish it to the cloud and get a link, and blah blah blah. So actually a lot of interesting functionalities here, and it's free. So you just install it. That's why I suggest it. And I'm using that. This is personally, and because it's very simple. If I want to make a screenshot, show the developer the problem, I do like this usually, then put the arrow and say this is the bug, right? So attachments, this is what we will discuss today, are must-have for any bug report. So you can see the developer, where is the problem exactly, and how to quickly fix it, right? And then the form is actually leads you to the bug report form, where you can actually put your name, summary of the bug report, steps to reproduce, actual result expected, and attachment. And I will show you right now how to do that, right? So, okay, so this will be attached to your homework. So you will have this slide. And also on the second slide, you will have some best practices when you will be creating the bug report. So please try to follow this. Right? So some best practices, that summary, whatever the summary of the bug, and steps to reproduce should be short and descriptive. You should be like putting a lot of words, and I will actually show you the example, right? So you can follow me. And the main thing here, the difference between actual and expected should be very clear, because basically bug report is the difference between actual result, what you see in the application, and expected, what you have from your test cases and requirements. So the difference actually makes the bug report. So that's basically why the difference between actual and expected should be very clear. Because what happened to me in the past, I was working for one company, and we had testers from another third-party company, and they were doing like regression testing for us once a month, I believe. They were coming, and they didn't know this system pretty well, because they were not working on the new requirements. They were working just, coming for a couple days and running thousands of the test cases that they had. So they didn't know all the expected results correctly. So they were putting something sometimes should be correct. So for developer, it's nothing. Developer doesn't know what should be correct. Developer has to go to the requirements, try to find that, and etc. That's basically why, to be a professional, you have to actually know the expected result. And the expected result, if you did everything correctly before, will be in your test cases. Because your test cases should clearly say at this moment, this is the color, this is the size, this is the font family, this is the, I don't know, location, and blah, blah, blah. The expected result is already there in your test cases. Or if you need to still clarify something, you can still go to the requirements. You still have the link, you still go to the requirements, and may take a look, maybe to have another vision of what the business analyst meant. So that's basically how you work. You have the expected result already, and you have to actually show the difference between expected, what you expect, and what is actually there right now. And that's what makes the bug report. So that's why this is very important. The difference should be very clear. If it's blue and this is red, so it should be blue, but it's red right now. The clear difference, blue and red, different colors, right? And attachments, screenshots, or sometimes even video records, very useful, because sometimes it's very hard to reproduce something for developer. And if you create clear screenshot and show the developer, hey, this is the problem, and point that by arrow, developer will fix it quickly. So it will be less time spent by developer and less time spent maybe by you or your colleague. Maybe not you will be testing this bug in the future, but your colleague will be checking that this bug was fixed. So for them, it will be also beneficial to quickly see the problem on the screenshot and quickly check it, right? So you save time for developer, for your colleague, or for yourself. That means people have more time to do something else, and they work more efficient. So in general, you save money for the company, time, resources, right? So you did a great job, and that's basically your main goal. Not only just to be a robot, just read the requirements, task cases, create bug reports. That can be done by AIs right now. So there are artificial intelligence right now that can do that for you as well. Some neural networks that can do that already. And that's not about us. Us are humans, right? We have to think that we not only just doing monkey testing, we are also thinking that why we do these nice screenshots, because we save time for developer to help them to solve the bug quickly, so they can understand your bug report quickly and then can fix it quickly. Same with your colleagues or you. You may test this bug report, like verify the bugs fix maybe in a couple months in the future, and you may even not remember what the problem is. So you will have to understand the bug report again as well. So if you put clear screenshot and description, you will just understand it in a second and will actually check it quickly. So that's basically how you save resources, time, money for the company, your team, and allow people to be more efficient. So in the same amount of time, they can work on more items than if you, for example, don't put the screenshot, you don't have clear expected result and actual result. What happens? They will have to go to you, ask questions. You spend time on the call. They spend time on the call. So just for fixing one bug, you can actually spend 1 hour. And that's basically very bad, because instead of like couple minutes, you spend the entire hour for one bug. And imagine if you have hundreds of them. So just waste time, waste money, resources, and your team is not efficient. So every single thing is matters, and that's basically all the theory, right? I know so many things about that, but unfortunately, it's not enough time to tell you everything right now. But this is logically how it works. This is how you save time, and that's these rules is not just because we want to follow them. These rules, all of them have a reason, and that's what I just explained to you. The reason is to improve the processes, improve the time that it takes for developer to fix the bug, that it takes for other people to understand your bug and actually check it, that it was fixed, right, and etc. That's why we are following these rules. So it makes easier for developer to actually fix it quickly and work in the same amount of time on more items. Same for you. Okay. One failure, one bug report. So one failure in test cases, one bug report. That's the rule. So you don't combine a lot of them, and if every developer knows what to work on. Okay, and you will have this in your homework, so you'll be able to work on it. But now my goal will be to show you actually how we do that. Okay, so let me get back to my test cases. So I marked this. So text area consists of 3 lines. I see that it's not, right? It's not. So basically what I do, I mark it as fail, and I go and report the bug. So I open the bug report form, and it will be, again, in the homework. You will have it. Let me move this here. So you will have the link. So you have the link to the application that is on my right part of the screen. You will have the link to the light shot, so you can install it on your computer and make screenshots. And then the last thing that you will have the link to the bug report form. And basically the last thing here is, don't forget to ask me any questions. Yeah. So 3 things: application, light shot, and form for bug reporting. Okay, so this is the form for bug reporting. Basically what you need to mention here is your name. I do. Summary. Summary is the short description of your bug. Basically, you just need to describe your problem in a short way. For example, the text area doesn't consist of 3 lines. So actually, I can actually copy this, paste it, and text area does not, like this. Text area does not consist of 3 lines, right? That's the short description of the problem. Yes, and then steps to reproduce. What I need to do to actually reproduce, to show developer how to reproduce it. In this case, it's very simple, because I just need to open the application and take a look at the text area, and that's it. In other cases, when I will need to click the button over here, there will be more steps, right? But because I will need to do something specific. In this case, it's very simple. It's open the app, and then take a look at the text area. And also what I can add here. So you can click enter, and it will be more lines over here, as you can see. Take a look at the text area. And also one thing that you can say here, change the size of the browser. right? And that's what I will do, like this. So everybody who will be testing this will see. And now what happens next? So developer, when they actually will open this bug report, they will actually read it, open the app, take a look at the text area, change the size of the browser, and they will do this, and they will see, it's changing. So that's basically how you help them to understand your problem. So actual result, the number of lines changes based on the size of the browser, right? So this is what happens. So number of lines changes. It's not static. It's not 3. It's not 2. It's just changes based on the size of the browser. And the expected result, here it is in my test cases. Text area consists of 3 lines. Or the number of lines is always 3. That's it. Then what I do next, I do like this. I will take a screenshot. I will mark this. I will point this by arrow, and then I just save it to my computer. Save it, and then I name it. Let's say text area, PNG, right? Save. So I know it's on desktop. Then I add file, browse. It's on desktop, test area, right? I select it, and as you can see, that's it. So reporter name is here, summary is here, steps reproduce is here. The number of line changes when I change the size of the browser, right? Oh, what is this? Okay, like this. Okay, and this is it. Okay, the number of line is always 3. Okay, and this guy is here. Okay, I submit it. Yeah, what is that? What was the problem with saving? Okay, that's it. I can submit another response, and I go forward. The first line is there are, and here's the thing. I cannot test this. I cannot because this is broken. It's not 3 lines. So basically what I will do here is I will basically skip this for now. Not applicable for now, and not applicable. So the first line, the second line, the third line is not applicable because basically it's not 3 lines now. It's not 3 lines. So if it's not 3 lines, those test cases doesn't make sense, right? Okay, so I can just only test that X is matching the number of people of the line. So actually see 4, and I have 4 here. So let's test it. Let's actually add another user, test user, and birthday. Okay, 5, and there are 5. Okay, so actually it's matching. I can pass this one. Okay, the text is left aligned. Yes, it's left aligned. It's not on the right, it's not in the middle, it's actually on the left. Yes, so pass. I don't have any more test cases, but let me go to the requirements and actually give you another examples. For example, okay, so the image, it's located on the top right section. It's there, so you will pass the test case. Then image size is static. Yeah, seems like it's not changing. It's like remaining the same size. Okay. And then here's the thing that you can do. In order to check some values like this, and that's why actually I removed, as you can see, Nadia, you were asking me about some things about the font sizes and etc. I just removed them. I just removed them so you don't have to care about them. And I thought that actually it's not that important for you because the goal of this lesson is not to give you like how to inspect the page, but how to test correctly and how to report bugs correctly. That was the main goal of the lesson. So I removed a lot of things. So you can skip them. But if you still want to test them, I will show you how to do that. Because based on your knowledge already in HTML and CSS, you can do that. So what we use it as testers to actually test some specific size, for example, right, or etc. We use development tools in the browser. I believe they are not available by default. Let me see. Okay, view. developer. Okay, so okay, use Chrome. So the most used browser, just in general by people, and especially in the tech industry, is Chrome, because this is the most probably easy browser to use for testers, for developers, to debug things in the web applications. That's why most people using the Chrome browser and Chrome developer tools. So you can click View, Developer, and Developer Tools. Or what I usually do, I never do that. I just select the element. Oh, my kids are coming. Maybe you will see them right now. And my kids are coming and talking. Okay, so what I usually do, I just select the element. For example, I want to inspect this image, right? I click, right, do the right click on it, and I click inspect. I come here to say hello. Let me show my little one. Come here. Okay, she doesn't want to. I'm sorry. I'll show you the next time. She's so cute, little angel. I'll show you the next time. Okay, so let me get back. Okay, so here's how I do this. Okay, so are you able to see my screen, guys, again?
Yes.
Okay, good. So basically, this is what I do. So if I come to, for example, changing that image is static, I will actually do like this, what I did, right? I will actually okay, let me close this because, okay, I will see that it's not changing, right? So basically, it's good. It means that it's static. But to confirm that, you right click on any element, on this text, on this image, and you click inspect. Then you will see the image and you see the size, right? And actually it's defined over here, even in HTML. Over here, you can see in HTML the size of the image with 600 pixels and 336. And here you can see that as well. For example, how I can, okay, you can see over here. If I hover over the image, you will see that's on the left, right? And it's not changing, right? And that's basically why, because it's actually hard-coded in the code, the name of the size of the image, and that's why it's not changing. And that's how you actually can pass your test case over here. And also you can find it over here. You can find it, as you can see in, you can find this information in CSS, in styles. You can go to Computed tab. Computed tab has the last information about everything, because sometimes what you will see in styles, let me give you an example. So HTML has some styles, but there is something else that overrides that style. There can be third style that overrides the second one. There can be fourth style that overrides the third one. So you will have to find the last one that is applied. So Computed tab has the last information, like aspect ratio for the image, the color, you didn't have it. So for example, font size, what else? Height of the image, right? Width of the image over here. And you can click this arrow, and actually it will point you to the last style that applied, last CSS style. So you click it, see it point me to the styles tab, and this was highlighted. So let's do it again. For example, like this, width, boom, and this was highlighted, right? It points me to the last applied one. Let's say if font family, right? Font family. Let me try with the font family. So font family, right? I click this, it points me here, but it doesn't point me over here because this was overridden, right? So I'm not using this anymore. That's why it's crossed, because there is another style that overrides that previous style. And that's where you look for some information that you need. So basically, for example, to find this text, you right click on it, inspect. So you have it over here, and you see the font family, right? You have the list of font families applied over here. So if one of them is in your requirements, you're good. Font size, this is crossed, so something else is applied. Let us go back. So font size, 50 pixels. You click on it, 50 pixels. This is the color, right, of the text. Then you go back, what else here? Font weight, it means, is it bold or not? So usually 400, it's regular. 700, it's already bold text. So you click on it, it points you to this. So this is in case, guys, this is just an additional thing because I removed all of that from the requirements. As you can see at this moment in the requirements, you will not find anything like, hey, this should be this size, this color, this font weight, and etc. I just removed all of that. So basically, you don't have to check that. You just need to manually compare what you see in the images, right? Match. So pretty much the text should be the same size, the type table looks like, and etc. So let me give you another example. What's not working? Okay, so let me make this. So we checked the image, and basically everything good here. Just will pass, pass, pass. It looks like here, it's static, size is correct, so your test cases will pass. Then table, located in the left bottom section, good. The table is left aligned. Should be a separate test case. As you can see, business analyst is just using human language. So they actually can put a couple sentences in one line, but those all will be separate requirements and should be separate test cases. So located in the left bottom section, pass. Left aligned. Let's see. Seems like yes, it's aligned to the left, not to the right, not to the middle. It just actually stays on the left. Good. Then left part of the table is aligned with the text area. Okay, that's what they mean. So left part of the table should be aligned with the text area, and it's not. So actually, we have a new bug. So let's actually report it, right? So I go to, this is my problem. This is what I expect, actually, right? So again, reporter, Sanka. The left part of the table is not. I usually use uppercase to show the problem exactly. Is not aligned with the text area. Steps to reproduce. Open the app and take a look at the left part of the table. Right, so actual result. The table, the left part of the table is not aligned with the text area. The left part of the table is on the same line or level as the text left part of the text area. And then, right, because even this can be unclear for developer. So what I do, I make a screenshot. What I will do, I will actually put the line over here like this, and it will show the developer, hey, like this. Okay, and then I will save the screenshot, name it whatever line on the desktop, save. And then I will go here, browse line. And that's it, right? So reporter, summary, left part of the table is not aligned. Okay. Open the app, take a look at the left part of the table. Left part of the table is not aligned with the text area. Left part of the table is on the same level as the left part of the text area. Expected. Okay, submit. Yes, good. So it worked. And that's basically it. You go submit another report and you go through your test cases again. By this time, once you're done with your test cases, you should have everything covered. So you are not going to go through the requirements as me. You're going to go through your test cases, right? Because every single requirement should be covered. And let me actually report another bug, something more complex for you. Okay. The first name input field accepts from 1 to 70 symbols. Okay, let me test that. Let me test if it accepts more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay. So what I did, I actually entered 10 symbols, copy it, and then pasted 8 times. So basically, I should have 90 symbols already. Symbol count. Maybe there is character count. Let me try. 70. Okay, so it basically works. Let me copy and paste again more. Copy now. Oh, it still works. So basically what I did, I just entered more than 70, copy it from the field, paste, and it's still 70. So actually, basically, yes, it works. So let's test the last name. From here, it's still 70. Okay, so basically it works. Okay, so what can I break here? Okay, let me try. Test, a date, Johnson, submit. Okay, so here I see it. Okay, so it should be your ID is, but it says your ID is. Okay, good. So I found the bug here, right? So again, partner Senko. What I need to report this because it has more steps to produce what to do. Okay, so the ID label, the ID label on the registration form has incorrect case. Okay. Then steps to reproduce. Open the app. Second, click get inline button. And you don't have to tell them the details about enter the first name, last name. You can simplify your steps and say fill out the form. Fill out the form. Click submit. Submit. And then pay attention to the your ID label. Your ID label. So actual result. I will copy it. Your ID is, and the actual result, your ID is. Or I can even probably explain a little bit more the tag, the label is, and I will put this in double quotes. So it's even more clear what I mean. This will be like this. Then again, I will make a screenshot of it so developers have better understanding what I mean. And then I will even put the text. Should be ID. Yes. Okay. ID, PNG, and then I will actually add file, browse, look for ID, and then I will have that nice picture over there with pointing that should be your ID. Yes. Submit. Good. And that's basically it. That's what you do. And that's, guys, pretty much what you work on as a software test engineer. So basically, you just, my daughter is coming again. That's what basically your work looks like. So basically, during the 2 weeks cycles, that's what you do. You work on the requirements, then you work on the test cases, then you wait for the application to be done, to be completed by developers, and then you test it according to your test cases. You execute them, you mark them pass or fail. Whenever it's fail, you report the bug. And also there is an additional step. So when developers will fix those bugs, you will have to actually go and just open them and make sure, okay, this is the bug where ID was incorrect. Let me take a look at the application and see if ID is correct now. So you see it's uppercase, and that's it. That bug is closed. And then if all the bugs you reported are closed, you then say, I approve the application to go to the customers. That's basically what happens. And then in the next 2 weeks, you do the same. The next 2 weeks, you do the same. and you just work on new features, right? Every single time the requirements are new, some new features. Let's say we want to change something here. We want to make this not only to be application for to do, for example, the immunization, or we want this. When we open this, there is another drop down and see, for example, the reason of your visit first. And then you select the reason, and then you will see other options. Like if you select vaccination, you will have this. If you say, I don't know, maybe you came to the clinic to checkup or something like that, you will select routine checkup. So actually, we will expand this application to do more. And that's what basically how basically the process looks like. You develop your first version of the application, you release it, and then you think how we can improve it, how we actually can expand the usage. So the next requirements will be, hey, now on this form you should see drop down. And then once you select the drop down, you will see that. If you select another option, you will see that. And then if you submit, you will see that, right? So you just create new requirements for the new features and do that over and over again. That's basically it. Questions? Oh, so nice. I will move this to the bottom. And let me stop sharing. Is everything clear in terms of the homework? So the homework is basically you have the application, you will have to open it. You will have to open your test cases and basically go one by one and execute them. Like, okay, there should be 4 sections. You take a look at the application and see if there are 4 sections. Then should be in the left top section. You see that there is a text. Yes, pass. And until you get the failure. Once you get the failure, you go and report the bug in the forum. And everything is on the slide that I have for you on the platform. Any questions? Go ahead, Nadia.
I actually have 2 questions for you. The first one is if I made my test case for the previous requirements, and I I I have to test like font size, font family, or I have to skip it, or I have to read my test cases, or what I have to do.
You can skip them, you can delete them, whatever you want. Because at this point, I checked your test cases, they look good. So actually, I don't have any questions for the test cases. The next thing that I want to see from you is your bug reports. I will actually check them. I see if you report them correctly and provide my feedback, right? So basically, if you even skip your test cases or you cover them, it doesn't matter for me. So you can do whatever you want. If you feel comfortable with testing them and inspecting the code and finding the values, I'm good. You can still test them. And maybe there are some bugs. If you want to skip them, I'm okay, because the requirements are updated now and there is no such requirement. So we can even say, hey, our legend will be that we have decided to remove those requirements and not to pay attention to them, right? So we remove them so you don't have to actually have those test cases and test them. So basically, that can be the story. You can remove them, skip them, or you can still test them if you want, really. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Because
okay.
my
I
goal will
just
be to check your bug reports. That's what's the most important thing for now.
mhm. I just saw one bug in this case. Okay, I will do this. Okay, and the second question is where we can find our saved bug reports form. We
I
save it and then we where they are.
I believe you cannot see them. What I can do actually, I can actually add an option. So this form will be sent to you, and I can add an option actually for you to be able to edit this response to see your bug. I can add that option actually, and you can try how it looks like, because I don't know. I can actually try to do that right now, and I will share my screen so you
The
all can
main
see.
point is that you have to
I
what?
will check them. Yeah, I will have an access to all of them.
Okay.
Uh, so basically, let me see. Here are the options. Allow response editing. And oh, do I need to? Yes. Okay. So I need to collect your email, and then you can when requested. So whenever you actually, let me see how it works now. So actually, I selected this. Now let me. Those are my responses. Okay. This is how I will see your bugs, right? I see your bug report. I see everything like this. So I see the bug report like this. Then I just click next. I see another bug report in the screenshot. This is how it looks like, right? This is mine, and this is how I will see yours. So let me see settings. So when requested, send the copy of the response. Okay, so let me see how that will look like. Okay, so you select this, and you will get the copy of this bug. And you should be able to edit your response as well, because I selected this, but how to do that? Allow response editing. So response can be changed after submitting, so you can still see your responses. So let me try. Test. Oh, email. My email. Summary test. Opportunity test. Test. Add file. Anything. ID. And submit. Okay. How can I edit that? Let me stop sharing. I will check my email. And then I will show you if I can somehow change it. So here's the bug report that I got. So thanks for filling the bug report form. Here's what received. Okay, so this is my response. But how to edit that? I don't see the option how you can see, but this is the way how you see it. You will have all of them on your email. If you select this option on the bottom, you will see all of them that you reported. But how to change it, I don't know. I selected the option to be able to change it. Oh, wait a second. Oh man, just removed it. Maybe now. Okay, let me report again. Okay. I don't need really the attachment. Stop sharing. Open another bug report. Start sharing. Okay. So when there is an option that allows to edit the response, here is the button edit the response in your email. So you can actually edit your previous bug that you report if you want to change something. Yeah. So I will leave this as is, so you can have all the bug reports in your email inbox, and you can have an ability to edit your responses. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Sounds good. Any other questions? Okay. Anyways, if you have any questions, you know how to find me. Again, on the website techstart.dev, there are contact information. It's email, it's a phone number. You can, if you are not in the system, not on the platform, and somehow you're looking for me, that's the way to find me. Another way, once you're on the platform and in Slack, free chat, free 10 chat is your main thing to use. You just post any message there, submit your homeworks, you ask me questions there, everything is there. You don't have to submit any homework because I will get your bug reports automatically. So once I see your bug reports, I will check them and I will mark your homework as done. That's basically what you need to do. Execute your test cases, report bugs. I will check them on my own, and I will actually mark your homework. What happens next? Tomorrow, you will have JavaScript. Next week, you will have automation with Sergey. And Thursday, you will have the lesson with me. Whoever will have the homeworks done by that time, I will actually already told you who actually did great, who completed all the homeworks, and let you know by that time who gets the discount for the main course if you want. Other people, if you will be still completing the homework later, chat is yours, and we will be just talking through the chat, through personal messages in Slack from me to you, because I will be sending those link to you in your personal messages. Only you can see your discount link, right? So that's basically what will happen next. Any questions? Go ahead, Nadia.
um, just one question again. We have to if we created our bug report, uh, we have to add it for our test cases form, or no?
No. So what you do, you just execute your test case. You select pass or fail in your test cases, and that's it. You leave it as is. Then you
Okay.
report bug, and that's it. Your test cases you leave them as is, and you just report bugs, and we track all the other work in bugs. So we don't touch the test cases anymore. Your test cases is just to execute them, pass, fail, and report bugs if it's fail. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Everything else will be tracked and reported through the bugs. We will work with them. So we don't touch these cases later. Okay, Alex, go ahead.
So when we finish reporting the tests, I mean the bugs, it automatically goes to you already.
Yeah, I'm getting them. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
Once
you.
you click submit and you see your form was submitted, and that's it.
Okay.
Nice.
Very simple. Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to post any links, anything. It will come to me automatically.
Cool. Sounds fun.
Nice. And this is basically what we do, guys. This is how the work looks like, right? You just learn a little bit more. That's basically how you find the job. You learn a little bit more how to do some test design techniques, some more details, some more technology, something like that. You get some practice from the, for example, from the project that we have. You get some practice, so you understand what happens on the real project, right? How you work with the systems and all of that. And then that's basically it. You have the experience to talk about, and you, of course, you don't tell people when you go to the interview that you have 3 months of experience of the course. You say, I have 3 years of experience, and this is what I was doing for the past 3 years. And basically, since the things is always the same, so the every 2 weeks look the same, it doesn't matter whether you had 3 months of 2-week cycles or 3 years of 2-week cycles, because basically the approach is the same. 2 weeks, new feature, 2 weeks, new feature, 2 weeks, new feature, 2 weeks, new feature. And that's it. You go to the interview, you actually tell them what you have experience with, what you can do, how your cycle looks like, what you're responsible for, and you tell them that you do that for 3 past years. That's it. And then they hire you as manual person, or you may be considered automation course, and they hire you as automation person. And that's how you get the job. So interesting story about that. So my former student actually got the job in my company today. I was interviewing him. So he graduated maybe like couple courses back, maybe like 6 months back, or maybe 9 months back. So he used to work for one company here local in Sacramento, in Rancho Cordova.
Yeah.
Then he remotely worked for another company in Chicago or somewhere there, and actually they had some financial problems. And actually he lost the job, and he was looking for the new one. And actually we had the interview today. He actually applied for the position in my company somehow through the recruitment company, and actually I was assigned to his interview, and I'm like, came today like, okay, hi Gera. So we had the interview, and he got the position of senior automation engineer, and that's how it happens, right? So sometimes I have a chance to work with my students. So I worked with a couple of my students at Apple. I worked with a couple of my students, not couple, maybe like 4 students were working with me at Aluma. Then I was working for the startup in New York. I was just the only one QA, so nobody was there. And then here, again, my students coming again to work with me. So that's
It's a small world.
yeah. But usually this is how it works. Not only with me, there are other students. So there are other students that actually got the job. They became leads, or they became senior engineers. then there is no open position. What they do, they come to me, say, hey, do you have some cool guys from automation course? Can you send couple to me for the interview? I send couple, and 1-2 of them get the job, right? So now my like ex-students work with my current students that just graduate from the automation course. So this is how the community works. And this is how it worked for me. I actually didn't ask Gera to join because I was thinking that he's working, but I actually asked in the automation chat, hey, I have 2 open positions. Is anybody willing to actually join me and try to go to the interview? We have a senior position open, but go and apply. And people get the job, right? That's how it works. Community works. Community, not only with me, but with other students. They go and work for different companies, and then whenever there is a work, they actually contact me, or sometimes they just even post in the chat, just, hey guys, I have a work, whoever is interested, please apply. And they post a link and just other students apply. And that's so at many companies we have like how to say correctly, different not levels, different year students working together. Like we have students who graduated like 2 years ago. We have students then working with them who graduated a year ago, and so on. And then when somebody from the team graduates the course, then usually the second part comes, like wife graduated first, then husband comes and takes the course, and then sometimes they work together in the same company. Like funny stories.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, guys, then thank you for participating. I hope everything was clear. If not, you always can find me on Slack or on techstart.dev, use email or phone number, and just let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, so your goal is basically to complete the bug reporting by the next week. And next week we will have job market overview. I will give you some interview tips, and will tell you how actually it's going on, how the process looks like, how you create your resume after the courses, how actually the interview looks like, and actually some tips about the interview, because sometimes people have wrong opinion about, not opinion, they actually don't know how the correct resume looks like, and they don't know how the correct interview looks like, and what you need to do actually to have successful interview, because people try to focus on not important things when some important things are something that they are missing. That's basically my goal, will be on the next lesson on Thursday next week. Okay, Maria, question.
Yeah, I would like to ask, are you gonna download today's lecture to the website so I can listen again and watch it again?
Yes, that's basically.
Okay, great.
I'm just going to stop the recording. It will take like 30-40 minutes for Google to create the recording, and then we will post it, to the platform. And that's it. And then you will have on the platform probably in an hour, maybe hour and a half, like you will have the recording and all the materials there, maybe even sooner. Okay, guys, then let me stop the recording.